let the bass kick.
Where do you get all this bass from?
All right. What up?
I couldn't even jump in, man. I wanted to so bad. I was like,
I was waiting. Pineapple shirt over here.
It's like, should I embarrass myself for trying to go hard on here? Monday night in the Sapphire Lounge, we gonna bring Harvey.
We need to get a hold of those dudes on Facebook. There's nerdy guys and see what they're up. See if they want to come hang.
Nerdy guys.
You know what I'm talking about? They go around to random people like in like different parts of the city and beatbox for them, but they're like dressed up super like nerds. Like, hey man, you care if I check out my beatboxing?
Make sure you're in the TV, Jay.
I'm in your viewing box. But anyway,
In frame.
so they would go up to just like people in random parts of like LA and stuff like that, and like typically people who look like they would have some coolness to them, and they're looking at these two dudes like nerded out, like pony shirts on and like, you know, jean shorts.
Yeah.
And then be like, hey man, can you check out my beatboxing? I'm trying to practice for my talent show at school. And then dude will just like drop like straight
Hot fire.
Yeah.
Dropping them out hot fire.
Beatboxing on them.
So what up? What's
Cracking.
What up, everybody?
Yellow.
Welcome back to Last Cash, episode 25 of The Last Cash.
Wow.
What is that?
Quota.
Yeah.
Water.
Quarter centennial?
Dime, quota, nickel,
2/5.
penny.
Yeah, 2/5.
It's all about that, Jays.
I'm Will.
I'm Marcus.
I'm Jay. And look
I'm
who's back.
Zach. And I'm listening. Yeah, I haven't been here in a
Look at
week.
Jay trying to escape from
1
the
week.
podcast.
That's what I do.
I've been here more recently than you've been, Jay.
Yeah. You're like a boomerang.
Yeah.
That's
Last
not true.
week.
Throw
You
'em
were
out.
here last week.
I was here last week,
Grammy
sir.
Grammy nominated
Yeah, they-
music. Damn it.
Grammy nominated, hopefully. I think the Grammys like a week or 2 weeks are coming up.
So you know that
Something.
feeling when like you just forget your phone at home, but you've gone too far, and then you just go out for however long without your phone, you like feel like something's missing.
Mm-hmm.
I left my phone downtown at a friend of mine. It was her birthday. Just fell in my pocket, sitting on the couch at their hotel room, and I didn't have it back until
Happy birthday.
Monday about 6 o'clock. I was like, that's when it was going to be coming through Bellevue, and I was like, gotta wait for it.
It happens. But for those listening, watching, if you have not yet watched or listened to episode 24, make sure you go do that just ASAP. Because, man, honestly, probably the greatest episode we've ever had. We made history. We had the first ever musical performance on the show. Chris Harris.
Live in person, the Sapphire Lounge.
Yeah, Chris Harris, guitarist for Ashley McBride. Go back and check it out. Great episode. Thanks, Chris, once again. So lots of stuff going on. The season is, I think, just about to be getting pretty much fully underway, at least for us here in
And
Nashville.
that's why the Four Horsemen are back together.
We're getting the band back together.
Next weekend. Reunion tour.
I'm just so excited.
Yeah. I don't know what to do with my hands.
I'm excited
I'm a glass case of emotion.
that you're going to be on my tea time, Will.
I know. It's going to be awesome. I'm excited too.
Pod card.
Podcast.
We got a bunch of stuff coming up that we're going to talk about. Also, I want to take a second to talk about a couple events that just happened over the weekend. Let me do this and do this and this.
And bada bing, bada
What's
boom.
going on?
I like Babaloo.
What's
What's
going
going on? Tell me what's going on.
Marcus, would you like to throw in your musical parody this evening?
I've got nothing.
All right.
Yeah. I'm trying my best right now.
Hey.
Trying
All
to
right.
hold the
Well, you
podcast together.
certainly look your best, sir.
You know, if you
Yeah.
guys were sugar right now, I'm just like bitter coffee. Like,
I was going to say you're dumping it out of your shoes.
what?
Nothing.
Dude, these
You
are
have a
nothing.
shirt with
These are
pineapple on
not
it.
a
You have a
What?
shirt with the safe word on it.
Yeah.
Pineapple. Pineapple. I like that.
Dude,
That could be
the shoes match,
misleading.
bro. Look at the shoes.
no way.
Hammer, don't hurt him.
Don't hurt him, Hammer. Don't hurt him so hard, Hammer.
Yeah.
I appreciate a man who matches his wardrobe. So
Last week he had a blue blazer on.
He's in here in the Sapphire Lounge looking
You
like
had
he belongs on a
Grammy-nominated
boat
artist. Of
Top
course,
knot.
he wore a
Yeah,
blazer.
that's exactly it.
with a top knot.
I'd be upset if he didn't.
Where
Yeah.
is the sailboat?
Where is Zach's
I
hat?
don't know. You
Dr.
were off
Hoy,
doing something. That
where's your
went
hat?
awry.
Dude, I just wanted to let all my
Peppery gray.
Somebody's got to present a professional
Hey.
image
Yeah.
on the show.
hello. I'm Dr. Hoy.
Keep us ruffians
Have you
in line.
recently suffered from COVID infection? And you're a child? Please call 1-800. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Hoy.
That's probably not a real phone number, but you could do that. You
Stop dialing after the first 8 letters.
and see what happens.
Yeah.
Make a friend.
Yeah. Phone a friend.
Yeah. First thing I want to talk about, something that just took place in our neck of the woods, the Shelbyville Freeze at HV Griffin Park in Shelbyville, Tennessee. That is more towards the MTDGA neck of the woods, but it is one of the first events that our pal Michael Douglas Holland has played in the MPO division, and he took
Yes.
down 3rd place in MPO.
Yeah. He said he's
Golf
cashed in
snaps
all his events.
To Michael Holland.
So
Yeah, he's
far,
cashed in all of his pro
in
events.
January, the
Yeah.
Shelby Shootout, he was there.
Yep.
And I know he was discussing moving back to advanced. He's
Mhm.
like, I just can't cut it in the MPO. I'm like, bro,
False.
don't even, no.
Once you play MPO and then you walk out with a player's pack, a little plastic bag in your hand, you walk out embarrassed and ashamed. You can't do it.
I mean,
I speak from experience.
I feel like playing, it's just more laid back, even though it's a tougher competition. It's more
Yeah,
laid
and
back.
I honestly, dude, if you have cashed in your first 3 MPO events,
Yeah.
you have no reason to be talking about maybe moving back. That is a good track record for moving up to Open, especially considering how brief of a period of time Michael has been playing.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's only been with us a couple years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And these are sanctioned events, no less.
Yeah.
Not just your local run of the mills.
Yeah.
No, he's won the Wednesday night tags a couple times over some hot hands. So
Yeah, he shot a
Speaking of
really
a hot hand.
He shot a really hot. Let's see here. First round, he shot 51. So, not sure what the par was here, but he was as a total of 13 under par for the event, and he was right behind Danny Parkins, team MVP, in second place,
Shout out
and
to Danny.
Michael Hoffman in first place. So congratulations to
Nice.
those guys and golf snaps and all that good stuff. Only 7 people in MPO, but some local names that we know: Gil Olerud
Yeah.
from the MTDGA crowd, and Chris Arendt, former president of the Muletown Club in Columbia. So,
What is that bottom MPO PDGA number? Is that 133?
yeah, 136 something, I think.
136, 655. I played with him at Shelby Shootout. Alex Arroyo. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
I think he helps out at the course out there. I think they're also raising money for
Yes, he's got
make some improvements on the course.
he's got a business. He's got a disc retail business online as well. He sponsored some stuff for the Ogwood fundraiser.
Oh.
Yeah, I want to say that's right.
They seem to be coming out of the woodwork recently.
Yeah, like I can't.
Everybody's
honestly
trying to
think of
get
his
some skin
name.
in the game, man.
Blank disc, or
I like what you did there.
Yeah, something like that.
he had a hoodie on at the shootout that had his name on it.
Yeah.
So.
Also want to say golf snaps to friend and frequent guest of the podcast. Haven't had him in a while. Maybe we should work on that. Jeff Castellina, my teammate at Dynamic Discs. Golf snaps
Shout out to Jeff.
to old Jeff, because he took down first place in MP40.
I bet he
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
Putting,
yeah.
I bet he was putting well. He always putts well.
He always putts well.
Yeah.
His other sponsor is Perfect Putt 360.
Yeah.
Not a real deep MP40 field, but there's a couple names we know in there. Jason Skipper in 4th place. Jim Stuppy, old name. He's tied for 2nd, and Colin Frazier.
Nice.
Here we are. Any ladies show up or anything like that? Any FPOs?
I don't see any FPO.
Gotcha. It's a tough tournament in
Doesn't
January.
look like there were
Yeah.
any ladies out there, which is disappointing. But, yeah, congratulations to everybody who did well at that event.
Yeah.
And congratulations to HV Griffin Park and Shelbyville for having a sanctioned event. I think it's been a
Heck
while
yeah.
for them.
Who was the TDs for that?
Justin Merlot.
Yep, Justin Merlot.
I do not know.
Golf
that
snaps
name,
to
but
Justin.
Yeah, shout out to you, brother.
Nice.
PDGA C tier.
New events.
Marcus?
I don't know if they've had it, but
Here's looking at you. Did you get that officials exam finished up?
oh, he's locked in.
Oh,
Man.
he's
Oh.
legit now, yeah.
Look up
Yeah.
Mike Lane
Golf
Classic,
snaps
and you'll see this
to
guy
Marcus
right here.
Rogers, who will be the
Yes.
TD of the 2021 Mike Lane Classic at Cedar Hill.
Woo!
Yeah,
Yeah.
Registration coming soon.
I can't wait. To see what
The
the
hottest
stamp,
discs.
the hottest disc, the newest styles, brought to you by
Is-
Marcus Rogers.
I'm just letting you know, everyone's going to be looking out for that 2021 Mike Lane Classic disc. You don't know what it is yet, but
Oh,
It's gonna be hot.
Actually, the 2019 people have been posting those
I
Ballista
saw that.
Pros. They've been
Mhm.
looking. I can't think of his name right.
Rick Garner.
Yeah,
Was
Rick
he
Garner. He's
looking
like,
for those.
I am once
Mike-
again asking for your Mike Lane Ballista Pros. Like that meme from. Yeah, dude. That's.
So yeah,
Can't wait.
Is that your first? I know you've been playing tournaments for years and years, but have you run one before?
No.
Dude,
It's the man.
He helps
I've
out.
I'm the
done-
man. I'll be the
I've-
man behind the man, but you're the man.
I've done demonstrations at like schools and stuff like that. By myself. That
Nice.
was really fun. But aside from that, no. Not yet. Here we go.
Nice.
big ups to you, man.
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
We give
What
him-
can't he do?
Marcus
What
Rogers
can't
behind the
Marcus
table.
Rogers do?
I want to throw some more
In a
props
week.
out there.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
And there's different people.
More
Okay.
props.
Mostly at people who've
Keep
been
'em
playing
coming.
at the Oaks.
Props is
Yeah.
good.
Ace has been raining out there recently. At the
Yep.
Oaks.
Oh.
Been some aces.
Yeah, dropping some knowledge. 900 and what, Hoy?
$930.
That's a big ace.
Big payday.
Yep.
Goes out to
Dr. John Williams.
Dr. John Williams. Aced hole 7 in the short position with a forehand Firebird. Skipped off the railroad
What are
tying
you
in
throwing a Firebird on short 7 for?
because he wanted to make $930.
There you got a good point.
He's got 900 reasons to tell you why.
Yeah.
930. Although he did give 60 to each of his card mates, so that was pretty classy.
Yeah, he's a generous guy.
If he
And
said,
he generously beat me in chess before the round.
No.
Generously beat you?
He
or
said,
like,
"You know how to play," and I was playing. And he's like, "Wait a second, your pieces like the queen and the king lined up on the wrong square." And I just tipped
Oh.
over my king. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm dead." I resigned.
I concede.
golf
I can
snaps to
see
John.
I never even have my board set up right.
You got a
Yeah.
little Queen's Gambit in you, and you're like off
I've
of the
watched that
races.
show, man. I like it. I enjoyed it. It's not just all chess.
I watched
haven't checked it out
Yellowstone, but
yet.
I'm no cattle rancher.
Hey,
Hmm.
I thought I could be
You
somebody.
keep talking about Yellowstone. I'm going to watch it.
on
at
the
some
Oh,
point.
chess
my
on the
goodness.
chess circuit.
It is some of the best TV. It's
You'll
up there
probably
with,
just
like-
end up having to put it on the TV while I'm at your house sometime.
Yeah,
That's fine. I've been trying to get him to watch Joe Rogan's latest stand-up comedy special for a year now.
Strange Times?
I'll get
yeah,
there.
it's great.
I'll get there.
I'm telling you.
Well, the next time we're all in a room together with a TV, we're going to force him.
Yeah, I think so. It's
We
only an
got
hour,
one
hour
right here,
15.
Yeah.
We're going to have to wrap this up
All
so we can,
yeah.
we
All
can
right,
get,
guys,
get
we're
our
gonna do
laughs on.
commentary on Joe Rogan's stand-up tonight for the podcast.
You know what? That like an MST3K kind of special episode of the podcast might not be a bad idea. That could be fun.
Yeah.
That'd probably
I'm
get
down.
yanked down though.
For everybody's just information, before we came on the air, we had a little meeting of the staff here at the Last Cash podcast, and we got some big things in the works for you guys this
Yeah.
year. And so we're going to be trying to come up with a lot more cool content.
Big.
We
Huge.
mentioned that a couple times on the show. You're like, when are you going to put it up there so we can see it? Quit talking about it. But anyway, one more thing that happened recently that I want to talk about: the Maricopa Open in Arizona. That was let's see, PDJ B tier, but there were a few big names there.
Uh-oh.
I feel like it's
Guys
kind
in
of like
action.
a warm up. Like it's kind of everybody's starting to gather in Arizona.
Yeah.
Warm.
Everybody's getting excited. Vegas, Arizona. Everything's starting to.
Oh, it's
building.
it's ramping up.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
There were
Big
several big
machine.
names out there in the FPO field. Let's see here. We've got Jennifer Allen and Katrina Allen were both in the mix. MPO, Cameron Messerschmidt, Jordan Castro was out there. Tristan Tanner. Let's see here. Who else was out there? Austin
Austin
Hannum. Yep. Probably for skipping over some big names here, but there were some upsets. I didn't see.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at first place in MPO going to Adam Hammis, which is no real big surprise.
Yeah.
But I mean, Cameron Messerschmidt coming in 65th place. That's a
Well, he
Well, he
DNF'd.
DNF'd.
DNF'd. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I didn't look at the 3 DNFs there at the end. So that's understandable. Then something happened. Hope everything's okay for him. But yeah, I mean, for all the big names that are in that list, and it was a stacked MPO field, 65 deep.
B
I mean,
tier in January.
Hey, wait a second. On the NPO, go down to the bottom.
yeah.
They got a 999 and an 888 for their first round. They never showed up. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, we know the rule now.
That's not correct, folks.
Let's
we got to
see
make
here.
a Facebook post.
Corwin Bowers, Mr. Corwin Bowers, if you see this, get in touch with the TD from that event. If you did not show up for your first round, you should have been removed from the event and not given an 888.
999s and 888s. So
Golf snaps to Matty O and Cam for their part in us learning that valuable lesson.
I feel like
Yeah.
y'all are flexing your PDGA rule knowledge on everybody.
we learned about it from doing it.
We come by it honest. I also, before we get off the Maricopa Open, I do want to say, special note for me anyway, first place in MP40, Pete Ulibarri.
Nice.
That's Paul Ulibarri's older brother. For those who haven't heard me talk about it on the podcast, he was the TD of the first league I ever played in
Nice.
Show Low, Arizona.
Nice.
He brought Will to the light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was definitely played a big part in me getting the bug.
Nice.
So I'm sure you guys by now have had enough time to kind of glance over the scrolling text, but we have a bunch of events coming up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Starting off right at the top.
One more props before we get going.
Yeah, sure.
Grady Shoe and Miss
yeah,
Paige
we got
Shoe.
that in the list to talk about.
Nice.
Definitely congratulations to
I figured
the
it was timed right.
the Bjorkus Shoe clan on the arrival of Savannah Shoe, daughter to Paige Shoe and Grady Shoe.
Yeah.
That is awesome news.
PDGA number was purchased today. It's like 151, I believe, or something
Yeah,
like
I
that.
saw that.
Yep, and old Dougie Fresh is a grandpappy once again.
Crazy how that's crazy that he's a grandpappy, but she's having a baby. But on top of that, it's crazy.
And
how
Noemi.
fast
Shout out
we
to
got
Noemi and Doug.
250,000.
Golf snaps to you guys.
Yeah.
Awesome people. Awesome to see good things happening to awesome people.
I feel like that was. I mean, not that you have to announce your pregnancy, but that was kind of. I wasn't
Big
expecting
surprise,
like that
yeah.
was a.
They
Sure.
kept the lid on that one really well.
Yeah.
Well, when you're in the public eye, somewhat at least in your field,
Well, you know how the disc golf world is. I mean,
Mhm.
bad
Yeah.
gas travels fast in a small town.
that it does. small, but getting bigger.
Very true.
You were
Very
doing
true.
a podcast with your pals the other day.
We're like a big fish in a medium pond now.
Right.
Yeah,
No.
it's
Yeah.
growing.
I don't know how big our fish is.
We migrated back
I do
Uh,
like fishing. I haven't been in a while.
to our home.
Maybe we should have a podcast fishing video. We should
That's
do.
because they have like Long John Silver's and Captain D's right around the corner. That's fishing.
Okay, who eats at Long John
Ooh,
Silver's?
not me.
Yeah.
Who eats
Or
at
Captain
Long-
D's.
Dude, I love Long John Silver's. If they had one close, I would do that.
Who's keeping these places in business?
I
I
eat Captain
honestly
D's,
don't
though.
know who's eating the Long John Silver's.
I love Long John
I
Silver's.
don't think I remember Long John Silver's.
I like Long
walking
John
in,
Silver's way
and
over
no matter
Captain D's.
when you walked into it, you had to be careful not to slip because the floor was
Greasy
so
floors, yeah.
nasty.
Like
And
a
you
Waffle
could get,
House.
You could get a box.
Well,
of,
that's
you could get a box of fried. It was just like all the fried
The
batter
crisp-
that fell into the
yeah.
fryer.
I used to call
that's-
those the crumblies.
Yeah, the
yeah. The
More
Krispies.
crumblies,
The crumblies.
please.
They still
Extra
have 'em.
crumblies.
Yeah, you can still get them.
Crumblies.
Wow.
Except now you just say crumbs so you don't sound like a weenie.
Yeah.
Speaking of Long John Silver, where's one you've seen recently?
I think Dixon. That's the closest one I know of. Dixon or
That's
I'm
where
in
I go to
Dixon
get
as
my
well.
Long
Yeah,
John
I
Silver's. It's a little cold.
Let's
when
load
I get
up.
back. Yeah.
That's about as close as Dr. Hoy wants his Long John Silvers. All right, noted. Moving on. Coming up this weekend, both days, February 6th
Double
and
dip.
7th,
Double
Yeah.
dipping.
Event 1 in the 2021 Music City Disc Golf Bag Tag Series at Seven Oaks. 28-hole layout.
Yep.
AM's playing on Saturday, pros playing on Sunday. Dr. Hoy, give us the scoop.
The scoop is $15 for AMs, $20 for pros. You also must be a 2021 MCDG member, which costs you $20. And there are only 10 spots left in AMs. So get signed up. It'll be
Sell it, baby.
packed. It'll be a
Sell it.
sellout.
Yeah, this is the biggest one of the year. As many will remember, fondly or unfondly, however you might want to look at it. Last year, 31-hole layout, 188 players. 182 players, day of signups, 2-hour-long sign-up
Yeesh.
process,
5
6-hour-long
hour- yeah.
round,
Yeah, that was
sixums. It was rough.
I think
Bad
that's-
weather. Which
Yeah.
bad weather is notorious for E1. That's always been a thing,
Yes, sir.
and it's going to be cold on
yeah, it
Sunday.
looks like 20s.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It's
on the pro day?
both. It's
Dang.
going to be
But we finally talked Marcus into it, and we are looking at a pod card.
pod card.
The four of us on a card in MPO because I signed up MPO. I'm
Yeah.
going
Yeah,
MPO
yeah.
in the bag tag series this year. Golf snaps for me.
I actually MPO the PDGA this year just for tits and giggles.
Nice. Congratulations. Golf snaps for Jay. Also, golf snaps.
No, don't
'cause-
golf snap that. I'm not gonna be getting any cash, but
Well, to celebrate my move up in the world, I am going to be rocking with a caddy on
What?
Sunday.
No way.
Golf
wow.
snaps to my little sidekick and disc
Nice.
golf grandson, Andy Pastel, who
Boom.
will be carrying the paratrooper
Nice.
for me
Nice.
on Sunday. Very excited.
So do you have a caddy relationship where he can talk or he like give you advice on the shot?
No,
Or
As per usual, he is an extension of the player. So as I would expect of you guys, if I were running my mouth in inappropriate timing, then you tell me to shut up. You tell him to shut up.
no, I meant talk as in give advice.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
but
we don't
before and after a
capitalize on the
shot.
he
caddies
doesn't
in
give
disc
me
golf.
advice, bro. I give him advice.
Ooh, speaking of, do y'all
Yeah.
remember when that company copped up with the caddies back in the day, like 3, 4, 5 years ago?
Yeah. They were trying to get professional
Get
caddies.
people into caddying. But that's one thing we don't capitalize on. I think people could really, really use.
Well, and
like
there's
with
cool
disc
stuff
golf.
like GBO used to do and I don't know if they're going to do it again this year, but the caddy games.
Mm-hmm.
Caddy games is super
Oh.
fun. It would be cool to do some stuff like that.
Jay, what if I caddied for you? You caddied for me.
I think I believe that will not work out. But
Well, I did suggest the idea that all
if I'm
four of
throwing
us.
and you're throwing at the same time,
I did suggest all four of us come with a caddy, and then we all rock.
Oh.
I can probably
All right,
get
taking
Carter or Ashley. I know Adam would rock it, but there's no advice there except
That
for
could get a little-
mine.
In the 20s, nah.
Oh, no,
28
no,
holes.
yeah.
Carter or
bring
Adeline.
snacks, folks.
Even Ashley, I don't think
Bring
would. I wouldn't
snacks.
volunteer
Well, we'll
tell
save
her
some
for them.
snacks.
Oh, she'll be there, and then
Hot hands
then
and
when
snacks.
she gets out of the car, she's
Yeah.
like, "I'm gonna go home. You have a good time."
Last year at the championship, I was like about to putt, and Adeline was like right behind me, He was, like on the hole one. And Ashley's like, "Yeah, we're going to playground." The enthusiasm. is
She's
unmatched.
supportive. She just when she gets there, she's like,
I
"I'm
like
bored."
it. Yeah. No, it's definitely she's enthusiastic.
Marcus, I know there's a lot of cool stuff coming up this year with the club, but Marcus has a really awesome putting game that we've teased at.
Mhm.
Here and
excited
here and there on
about
the
this.
podcast. You want to tell the folks a little bit about it,
Yeah.
Marcus?
So
Battle
We're gonna
putts.
have 2 side events.
Battle putts.
Oh my goodness! So we can bring it up right now.
No.
All right.
No.
It's a what?
Keep it a secret.
Oh.
Drop it on them.
Oh.
Okay, keep
Oh,
it
no,
simple.
no,
That's
no,
fine.
No.
We can move right on.
I
to
like
the
that.
next
I like it. How about a teaser?
A teaser.
There you go.
Little
It's
teaser,
a
yeah.
I like the teasers.
four-person game with 2 teams.
Mm.
Yep. For a side game for the bag tag
There
series.
you go.
It's hot.
That's all you
There
need.
you have.
I have seen. I have got a first person sneak peek at MCDG headquarters recently. There's all sorts of new goodies in the garage. there.
Oh.
So there's going to be all kinds of cool stuff for you guys to win. Obviously, you will be getting your 2021 MCDG bag tags after the event.
Yes.
So
May or may not get your shirt if you ordered a shirt.
yeah, there's obviously there has been a lot of supply and logistics issues and everything lately. So if we may have to postpone distribution of the shirts, but we're going to have the tags for sure.
The tags are here.
The tags are here, and I got a picture of the one tag with me and Dr. Hoy. I'll post along with this episode. Maybe put it in the break.
Yeah. That's
Um,
close as I'll come. Nah, I'm gonna.
I'm gonna drop an Easter egg about the tags.
Do it.
Should I? You know what I'm talking about. We made the best looking tags, the higher tags, because Hoy and I will always be at a certain spot in the tag series, and we want cool tags, dadgummit.
No
And
fair.
I will always have the 76.
Exactly.
I was waiting to hear what number you chose right there.
It was 76 and above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all cool this year, actually. I
Yeah.
think our art man Charlie Matthews knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
All snaps
Yeah.
to Charlie. Was just talking to him today. I've got him on a couple projects
And
myself.
Next year, I just heard from Alpo
Uh-oh.
that next year will be the 10th anniversary of Music City Disc Golf.
Yep, 2022.
So,
10 years old.
I mean, we're gonna have some kind of
Champagne.
something.
We'll have something.
We'll have something.
It's gonna be
Assuming, COVID, all
Yeah.
that good jazz.
Hopefully by
Champagne.
2022 we'll be over it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's dope. Get signed up as quickly as you can. What time? When does no more signups, registration close, all that stuff?
Friday at noon,
Friday at noon.
and tee times will be announced after close of registration.
Has the plan for tag distribution been finalized?
Yes. Oh.
Go for it, Jay.
I answered too quickly.
The plan for tags is we will have them available right after the last card completes. We have enough people, and we have it AMs on one side and pros on the other, so we're gonna have them. And I know that, I mean, if you compete in the morning, you might not want to come back, and that's fine. But we will have them like final card finishes out because we have to wait till all the AMs are complete. But we'll have all the other scores plugged in, so that's the beauty of using UDisc. We can tell and we can plug in the scores quickly. So we'll have the tags. We'll say like whenever the last card goes out, we'll make a post on Facebook. 3 hours from now, 3.5 hours from now, we'll be able to tell how long the rounds are going. We'll have the tags ready to go.
So say last card goes out at 2:30. You're looking at about a 6 o'clock tag distribution
Yeah.
potentially.
And if you want to stick around, play some side games or
Whatever you want
you
to
know,
do, go get you some
it's,
grub.
yeah, go get some grub.
So
come back.
then that's going to be pretty much the standard mode of operation for the year. Is like
left
you can
out the
come
one.
back and then get your tag, or you can get it at WNT or the next event. So
Yeah.
He left out the most important part as well. They will be sanitized when you get them back. So
Yep.
we have taken steps even for that.
Right. We'll have
And-
plenty of things to keep you COVID safe.
Yep.
Remember that. Metro
Mm-hmm.
You know, they still limiting gatherings, so be smart, be safe, be socially distanced. You know,
Spoken
Yes.
like a real true doctor.
Wear a mask.
And also,
yeah.
if you or
I'm
your
not the
business,
police, but I can
Yeah.
make recommendations.
if you or your business would like to sponsor the Bag Tag series, get in touch with any one of these three guys because they're all board members on the club,
Yeah.
and I am no longer having to take care of all that stuff.
But if you did holler at him, he'd probably tell us.
Probably,
Yeah.
I'd probably tell you to talk to them.
Sponsor this podcast.
Or that too, if you want to get on.
Hey,
Hey,
yo.
you want your
Yeah,
name out here?
holler at me. Let's talk numbers.
Holla.
For the right number, we can probably get a little commercial thrown into the
I'm about to knock the light over
For the right
here.
number, we'll break
Numbers.
this light.
numbers and jailbreak lights and other things.
Hey, yeah. Studio lighting. It doesn't come
Bright
cheap.
light.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's E1 coming up, and then also Saturday, we've got the Colder Carter Farms
Yes.
at Carter Farms down in the MTDGA neck of the woods. Shout out to those guys. So if you
Yeah.
aren't able to
Think
get
that-
into E1, you got an option.
Yep.
That's one right there. Also coming up this Saturday, the Frozen Gnome down Chattanooga way, and that is going to be the first B tier of Chris Dickerson's season.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So everybody's
Sponsored by
excited.
Full Flight Disc, and I know this is the
And
third year
Prodigy.
having it. Oh, is it Prodigy? Oh,
Oh, is it not Prodigy? Oh, it's
I thought
just sponsored by Full Flight,
actually, I don't know.
like a title sponsor.
I might be
Well,
lying.
shout out to Full Flight, Chris and them.
I might be lying, but Dickerson, he's. I mean, we always say he's gonna have a break. I mean, I know he had a break. I mean, he won the USDGC last year, but
So what do you think the odds
I
are?
feel like
What was the spread? I got Dickerson by
he's probably
5.
plus 250. Plus
Jay trying to
150.
get away from the show again.
No, oh my bad. I was just
So-
trying to look at these fine people over here. Get some eye contact going. some
I'd have to look
chemistry.
and see who's. I think the next is Logan Bauer. The next in ratings is like Logan Bowers and
Let's see
Michael
who
Holland's
signed
in the
up.
mix. If he cashes at the Frozen Gnome Part 3,
Hmm.
that's going to be a test. But hey, we're rooting for you.
Here's the thing, like Cashin's awesome.
Yeah,
But
presented
if
by
he-
Full
if
Flight
he's on that-
Discs.
If he's on that final card with Logan and Chris Dickerson,
We got
It's 20 deep in MPO, and it's stacked. We got
Yeah,
Snappy
Snappy,
Cole,
Logan.
Logan Bowers, Jared
Jared Neal.
Neal,
Oh, boy.
Nathaniel Romans, Joey Lutz, Michael Hoffman, Chase Van Berkeley, Idris Garcia, Chris Dickerson, Ben Page, Todd Reagan, Nick Jeffers, some other
Dickerson by
folks.
6.
Nathan Lavender, I know that guy,
Anybody got me on
Hey.
10?
Taylor Woodward,
Woodward.
and Michael Holland.
and Michael Holland. And open women so far, we've got Margaret Bowden Distel, shout out to Marge, and Amber Meese.
Click on that. Let's see if it's sponsored by. I want to see if it's.
It's presented by Full Flight. You were correct.
Nice.
And Andy Ritter in MPA 40, Brian Sales, Colin Frazier, Billy Heath, Jacob Howe, and Chris Heimberg.
Boom.
And that you said was when? February?
It's coming up this Saturday.
Saturday.
This Saturday.
This coming up Saturday.
So in
PDGA
February,
beats here.
yes. That's crazy.
Yeah. Dr. Hoy, you might know a little bit more about this this next one than I do, but the first event in the NADGT series, the
Yes.
next amateur disc golf
Generational tour.
tour
Yeah, it's
coming up, and they're going to have it at the IDGC in Augusta.
yeah International Disc Golf Center.
What do you know about this one?
It's run by Feldberg. It's only an amateur event. There are a lot of added cash, a lot of added prizes, and a lot of their events they kind of try to partner with events that have already been going on, like or have it on the same as around the same time. And I don't know. I haven't heard too much reviews of other events. I know that they had a big schedule in 2020, and obviously they had to cancel with COVID. But because I think at one time we had talked with them about possibly running an event at Ravenwood the week before the MCO 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
There was and it was just, I know it's just getting started, but it's got a lot more events now. It seems like it's more established, and a lot of sponsors are behind it. So, I mean, if you're an amateur, I mean, I think it's a good way to build up if you're in the AM ranks to build up in the AM circuit. And there's so many events over the Southeast. I mean, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, like
It's good for all.
It seems like getting out there and you can build up your prize winnings and I
So
think
that is
it's-
also this Saturday.
Yeah.
And I think if you win that thing, you get a car, don't you?
Yeah, it's a crazy prize for like you get tour points, and it's kind of like I don't know if it's an amateur disc golf pro tour. I don't want to say it's
Amateur
like that,
A tier.
but it's
It's- yeah,
like
yeah.
a building block.
I mean,
for-
I think that stuff right there is going to start becoming even more common. I think they're kind of ahead of the game with what they're planning here, because if you look at, I mean, any other sport, they all have little leagues. They all have something that
like the
feeds
G
them.
League, the Gatorade
Absolutely.
League, and NBA, or the
D League.
or
Yeah. I mean,
the minor leagues.
Yeah. Silver
So,
Series for the
Farm
DGPT,
League.
Yeah.
all those events.
So it's smart on their behalf. Now, like, it's also very good for TDs and people who have not done a lot of TDing or not run a lot of events, because it's almost like you're franchising a tournament.
Yeah.
And so it builds the sport in a whole lot of different ways.
And shout out to Feldberg. He's always mixing it up, doing different stuff, and you probably have seen him on the Pro Pool.
Yeah, I like that commercial.
Pro Pool disc golf.
Yeah.
He's in
Yeah,
sandals.
it's good.
He's wearing like
Real
sandals.
good.
Now, yeah, dude.
Car
He's
handles
trying,
great.
he's trying to show how like easy it is, you know.
He's
I
like,
can
I'm
do
out
this
here
in
in sandals practicing.
I'm out here throwing in my flip flops.
I'm Dave
so if I can
Feldberg
do
for
it,
Pro
you can do
Pool.
it.
I'm like, every time, man. It's like, I forgot. I think Gatekeeper uses Pro Pool. They're one of their sponsors. And
They're the ones you set it up on the door and it's a rubber band or whatever.
yeah, you can do that. And then now they have the flags
You
component.
can sit in
and-
your car trunk too, right?
yeah.
What's the company who did the pieces of a disc? They would cut off a piece of a disc
Flight
and attach
towel.
it to a towel.
Flight Towel, and they're still very much rocking.
Whatever happened to Touch?
I think they're still around
I
too.
haven't seen as much Touch,
Marcus.
but
Lower
I know what
towers
you're
and
talking
couch.
about.
So another interesting topic of conversation, we're kind of talking about the significant A tiers and stuff like that, which we're familiar with having been one for the last several years.
Yeah.
No longer a Pro Tour event, the Memorial.
Yeah.
Often a big warm-up, kind of like a tune-up game for the disc golf season. Just an A tier this year. Just an A tier. That
If
is
you look at the field
not
in that-
serious for any. Yeah, we know what it's like to run an
Yeah,
A tier. So, but it's interesting to me, and this is an interesting point of conversation, because all the chatter and the discord and discussion about the Memorial over the last couple of years about, has disc golf evolved beyond that point? Does that still deserve to be on the tour? Is that an event that qualifies for the level of Pro Tour champion or a Pro Tour event or an NT? And surprisingly or not, a lot of pros' opinions on that were, no, let's axe it. It doesn't deserve to be on that stage. Still a great event.
Mm-hmm.
Still probably want to go play it, but doesn't need to be one of that series of events.
It's got a lot of issues outside of disc golf too, with just pedestrians.
That's true.
Safety issues. I mean, that event became significant at a time when disc golf wasn't where it is now.
Mm-hmm.
And players weren't doing what they're doing now. So still a lot of people signed up.
Oh yeah.
It'll be interesting to see the future of that event. I know, that's the biggest concern, is there's a lot of pedestrian traffic and cars driving by. I mean, those holes all play really close to residential traffic and all
you
that
gotta
stuff.
smell certain things.
But that will be coming up on March 4th. And so before that, we've got the Disc Golf Pro Tour Las Vegas. And that's the first event of the DGPT coming up on the 25th of this month.
Is that still called the Gentlemen's Club Open? or whatever?
Vegas.
No, I think it's still the Las Vegas Challenge. That was
Las
what it's
Vegas
been
Challenge,
the last
okay.
couple of years.
LBC.
So that's going to be a big one
unaware.
coming up. And, as per usual this year, the Disc Golf Pro Tour and the Disc Golf Network are ramping up the coverage. And you're going to see that across the board with all events this year. The media agreements with NTs and DGPT events are just
Thick. They're real
fat.
thick.
Yeah.
Fat.
Lots of signatures.
Tons of live coverage. I already signed up for the Disc Golf Network, so I'm
Oh, yeah.
ready to start watching the live coverage and all that cool stuff. And you get a bunch of cool content when you sign up for Disc Golf Network. So I encourage everybody to do that. If you're a PDGA member, you get a discount. And so get signed
And
up for
there's
that.
still people that like, I paid $4 for this. This is all I get for $4 a month. And it's like, what can you get $4 a month? You want to see live disc golf? Then they give you live disc golf. They feed it to you
You want to
Yeah.
roll a
with
toilet
a
paper?
silver spoon, and you're still not happy.
Swallow that disc golf right now.
No.
Come on.
Oh, also, you should
Eat the disc
definitely.
golf.
It's very highly recommended you get signed up for UDisc too. Just throwing it out
Oh,
there.
come on.
If
If you're not signed up with UDisc
getting
already.
started early.
In case you're new.
And
Hey, don't worry, Marcus. You'll find out who's not signed up for UDisc on Saturday and Sunday.
And guess what? They won't be new.
And another thing coming up right around the corner, the first event of the National Tour Series, the Texas State Championship. Shout out to former guest of the podcast and our homie Steve-O Steve
Steve-O,
Story
yeah,
down
Steve
there
Story.
in Carrollton. He's the TD of that event. So kicking off the NT, the National Tour Series, which we will be wrapping up at the Music City Open in September.
Full circle.
So, and then right in the middle, DDO, which we'll be
Yeah.
at as well. So
Yeah.
that's exciting. But yeah, coming up March 26th through the 28th, Texas State Championship, presented by Latitude 64.
Oh yeah.
Going to be
Oh.
awesome.
So you doing the DDO again? You going down and working?
Yep.
I'm going to be running the putting competition all
right.
the way to the finals. So look for a little showmanship, a little Carnival Barker style.
Carnival
announcing.
Barker.
You got to light anything on fire, put through the flaming hoop.
Fireworks,
Well,
streamers.
I don't know.
batons.
I got access to a lot of chemicals and stuff like that. So
You
maybe
do?
I'll take a little
Some-
pyrotechnic show on the road.
Yeah.
And
Pyro Roadshow.
I don't know. I guess we'll have to see how with the COVID, how we'll stack people in there for the finals. Because basically you have 2 days of preliminary, then you have the semifinals at the bonfire, then you have the finals at the block party. So
I think
That's
at this
a
point,
lot of finals.
I was just watching the
there's-
new dynamic disc updates with Rusco and Bobby today.
Warehouse.
And if anything, I think where we're at and where we're projected to be by then, if anything gets axed, it'll be like the indoor events.
Yeah.
You know, poker party and those kind of things.
right, because I'm also going to be running the poker party. So
You
you
better
know.
start playing poker, bro.
I know, well, there was
He's
a guy.
learning. He's
There was a
been-
guy talking about it earlier.
He's been doing
Yeah,
research.
He's been
That
trying
guy.
to design
That
poker
guy.
chips all night, all day.
He saw me at breakfast this morning.
Yep.
But as it stands, there are plans to continue with all those scheduled events with social distancing procedures in place.
Mhm.
So,
That is wonderful to hear.
yeah. And Dynamic Disc is moving into their new warehouse space. They'll be fully in there by April, but first phase is underway, and that
Yep.
will also include a full restock of the warehouse within the next 4 to 6 weeks.
Boom.
So lots of cool stuff coming from DD and Emporia, and we're looking forward to being out there for DDO.
Shout out to them too for their disc ordering process, because
Flawless.
that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Come on, other manufacturers,
Yeah.
tired of the spreadsheets.
Yep. Yep. For all your custom disc needs and otherwise.
And
Dynamic
they even have a
Discs.
custom
Just
rush.
put it in your cart. It's really sweet. It's really
Yeah.
Call
good.
snaps to my sponsor.
And the maker of the
easy.
Judge.
Shameless.
Yeah, EMAC Judge coming out soon, and the Evader, and I will be.
EMAC Judge. I got an EMAC Judge.
No.
Yeah.
You do.
No.
Oh yeah, I do.
This is an actual new mold.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've got an EMAC stamp on a Judge.
Yeah, I have one that was like it was like the first EMAC
the
stamp, but it
difference?
was like a
Stability.
Discraft disc from the 2010 World Championships when he was still sponsored by Discraft.
What's the
Ah.
difference in the EMAC Judge versus the Judge?
Smaller bead is
Smaller.
one. That's the probably the most significant
Okay.
difference. But I will be getting prototypes
Uh-oh.
this month. I will get 2 EMAC Judges
You don't
and
like
2
Judges.
prototype Evaders. So we will be giving probably one of each of those away on the podcast. Not to Jay. There is a clause in your contract, sir. You and your direct family members are not allowed to win
I
giveaways.
know somebody else was talking about this. Have you guys get the commercial on Facebook for this hydrogen disc? It's like from
Hydrogen
Denmark or something. It's a putter.
H1. Why not throw a H1 disc?
Have you? Nobody else has seen
no,
this. It's like this
no.
Denmark guy that does disc reviews, and this company made a disc, and it's a putter.
Denmark
Is-
guy,
is
we
the-
mean
is it the
Danish.
H1?
guy.
And they named it the hydrogen.
I don't know.
I think it's
maybe
called a-
Denmark
Some
guy,
kind of Denmark
Danish.
guy. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Because I've heard of some hydrogen.
Some Denmark guy.
It's a
It's
one.
Tennessee
It's a
ball.
one-speed putter. They're saying that it's like so straight because it's one speed. Why
Yeah.
throw anything? Why throw any faster?
And today, an
Because
announcement.
sometimes you do.
Speaking of other putters, Drew Gibson just signed a contract with a manufacturer like EV7, they only make putters. Like, I mean, that's how they're
So he's
starting,
throwing
but
a
it's
mixed
an
bag.
overstable. Well, he like Infinite.
Okay.
He's not with Legacy. Is not one of his sponsors this year, but Infinite's still one of his sponsors, and he's doing things a different way. And I think
Drew is very
we
much
need those kind of things in disc golf.
and
People
very
do
much
things
like
different.
Stokely. They're trying to keep everything open ended with their
Yeah.
sponsorships.
Shout out to Nico.
Yeah,
yeah,
getting
shout out
picked
to Nico.
up by Westside for another couple years.
Well, no, he just ran that motto for years. Like for a long
Oh,
time,
yeah,
he
no.
was
Yeah.
just doing his own thing.
But also shout out to Nico because I know that right now he is an integral part of the final stages of the process and getting the first West Side backpack bags
What?
produced.
Oh.
Yeah.
So there are 2 bags coming out, a smaller one and a bigger one, and man, they are looking dope.
Nice.
And stay tuned to Nico.
Westside Disc. I like their logo is fresh.
Yeah, for those who don't know, I'm an administrator on the Westside Disc fan club page on Facebook. So go give that a follow if you're interested in Westside stuff. But I know that another part of listening Westside is the best site.
I was just waiting on who it was gonna be.
A bunch of white guys in the room, and we're just going to embarrass the crap out of our black
Pineapple.
friend. But we are on the west side, so apropos. But no, stay tuned to Nico Castro's social media, Instagram, Facebook, that kind of stuff, because I believe he has a YouTube channel, but he's going to be releasing video about the bags.
Okay.
So that's probably going to be shared to Dynamic Disc channels and stuff too.
You've seen these bags, said bags.
I've seen proofs of them and mock-ups of them.
Okay.
And, dude, they look so sweet and slick. And, man, it's almost like it's a double-edged sword because as a sponsored player or member of Dynamic Disc Team, I have to carry a Dynamic Disc bag. And, dude, I am loving the look of these West Side bags. They look so sweet. So sweet. I'm very happy with my Paratrooper, though. And I might even end up getting a West Side bag to carry when I'm not playing in tournaments, but they look super sweet. Yeah.
Awesome.
You can never have too many bags.
Very true. Yeah.
But only one back to
What about your caddy? What bag can they carry?
Extension of the player.
You ever caddy for somebody who has an inferior bag? It's terrible.
Quad straps on a little duffel bag.
Goal.
Oh yeah, if you look up the 2011
Where you caddy for Hardy,
2011 Music City Open, you'll see a review of the quad strap. Is it Vulcan? No, it's a
Phoenix.
No, I can't remember the bag, but Will Shoestrick demonstrated the bag, and it was like the quad straps. Like this thing has 4 straps to support. It's like the newest bag out at the time.
It was
the
Phoenix straps.
Billy Crump, the Clash DVDs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Over in the Shul.
Yeah.
From the Shul.
There's a lot of Shul.
Yeah, I actually had the Phoenix straps in camo, bro.
Oh.
On my, get this, not even a tournament ANOVA bag, on the side slinger.
My first bag was a Latitude 64 Pro bag with quad straps.
Nice.
Yeah.
Quad
After the classic, little
you guys don't
fade
know
gear shoulder
hard
bag.
Gotta get it somehow.
Yeah.
Marcus shaking his head. He was like,
I don't want to know how hard it was.
what kind of bag? When you started playing, what bag was that? Like, was there like
garbage
the side
pail?
bag or
Lunchbox.
they have like
pail?
the tassel?
I really don't remember, but remember the one time I took a Target basket out there?
I do remember that time. Yeah, you had some other items in that Target basket as well.
Yeah, man. I've tried almost everything. Yeah.
Keep your eye on the Target.
I'm not hardy or anything, but
At the end of the day, it just got to carry some discs.
Yeah.
I mean,
plastic bag it, bro.
Yeah.
apparently Hardy the bag is way more important than what it's carrying.
Now, don't sell Hardy short. Those bags are stylish.
That's
Those
what
are
I'm saying.
LL Bean signature tote
and
bags.
he's got multiples.
Yeah,
Once
for
or
sure.
twice, but never 3 times.
And every once in a while, he pops out with a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Steve Hardy.
Shout out.
Golf snaps for Hardy. Anything new on the COVID front? PDGA MedCom front?
Variants.
No.
Variants? What?
Oh, sorry.
Touchy subject for Jim.
There are variants, but the vaccine fortunately has multiple targets, so it should cover the variants.
Is there a I guess American virus and how there's like viruses from everywhere else?
Mutations.
Yeah.
The China virus.
Yeah.
The American virus.
I think that's just like morbid obesity or something.
So it's like
I think it's
COVID with
diabetes.
the bitchy
I think it's the
attitude?
American
High
virus.
blood pressure.
If I may.
You're on fire, bro.
Yeah.
NBA jams, dude.
Larry
Ooh,
Legend.
shakalaka.
The American virus is really a complex interplay of politics and
Don't get me started, bro.
We're parasites.
Goodness gracious.
no.
Cool.
That's
Good.
I mean not too many no breaking news on the COVID front recently. So I mean it's
No news is good news, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Well, in other news today, the sky was blue and snowed a little.
that's true.
The weather was pleasant.
Yeah, I want to work at 6:15 this morning.
Oh.
There was definitely snow on the ground.
You had
Yeah.
to, you
10
had to
o'clock
scrape
it was
the
gone.
windshields. Ugh. I hate
Nah,
those.
bro. I preheat that bad boy,
Nice.
and I went inside and made pancakes.
Quick goat thinking. What
And
pancakes?
then you know what he did?
We had
He
the
made
French
us
toasties this
pancakes.
morning.
All right, so check it out. I made this amazing omelet this morning.
All right.
Let me see.
Omelets and
Zucchini,
pancakes.
Hold on, I'm hearing
zucchini,
this.
red onions. Topped it off with fresh tomatoes at the end, a little bit of salt on it. And I took you said that little muffin I was eating a while ago had like nuts on it. I crumbled up one of those muffins and put it into the batter for my pancakes.
Whoa.
What's going on here?
I'm
I make
getting
these
hungry.
This is
huge
not
like
Marcus behavior.
I make these huge like crazy big pancakes, bro, and they're like impressive.
Okay. Why have I not been invited for these?
I didn't know you got up that early.
Bro, I don't anymore. I used to.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
Been sleeping in.
I used to cook.
I'm the breakfast master, bro.
Bro,
I remember
Anything you need for breakfast.
I love it.
We
It's
had
my
we had
favorite food.
we had ribeye for breakfast the other morning.
Whoa.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
when the guys from
Nothing
Howard
wrong
Disc
with
Golf
it.
Ribeye
stayed
and
o-
eggs, steak and eggs. Huh?
when the guys from Howard Disc Golf stayed over here for MCO
Yeah.
that one year, that was the big thing. Ben and them kept raving about. Was like, dude, Marcus's breakfast game is on point.
What the shit? I didn't even know. I've been at Boogie Bottoms with you.
How is it always Jay?
I love Boogie Bottles.
He's
man.
always the last to
triggers
know.
the
Well,
profanity.
Boogie Bottoms,
Alert.
you can't cook in that
Yeah.
place.
Alert, parental advisory.
And even if you could, would you want to? Based upon the art that's on the wall? No, you wouldn't.
No.
But it's a lifetime ago, Hoy. Don't worry about it.
Let's take a quick break.
Hey,
we're on a roll tonight. Let's keep
Yeah.
this momentum rolling. Let's take a quick break, stretch our legs, go to the little boys' room, and we'll be back here in just a moment.
Maybe stay tuned for our pet peeves.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Stay tuned for the second half
Why
of the
does everybody
episode
stare at me while you say that?
because you're our pet peeve. I'm just kidding.
Well,
Our pet peeves.
naturally.
Everybody's pet peeve is Jay Skinner. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Hi, guys.
We love you, Jay.
Hi, guy.
But
What's
yeah,
up, buddy?
we got a bunch of other cool stuff to talk about too, like the new major coming up.
Oh.
There-
Stay tuned.
Yeah, there's a bunch of cool stuff to
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about. So we'll be back here in just a minute, guys. Red button alert.
Whoop, whoop.
Keep
rip.
going.
Ew,
Baby
ew.
Look at Jay with the wardrobe change at the intermezzo this time. You weren't wearing your jacket in the first half.
And your hat's still
Well, you don't
ugly.
have. I mean,
And your
You
no,
did go
hat-
outside where it's
and
something
your
below
hat's
50.
still ugly.
it's just it's funny because Marcus is always the one
No,
with
it's
the
actually a clean
That's
hat. I
cute.
just don't like Arkansas.
with the midway wardrobe change.
Go Cats.
Everybody's ignoring me tonight.
No, we weren't ignoring you.
Wardrobe change.
Does that mean I'm talking too much?
American Sign Language.
That's what you missed.
Dude,
No, we're good.
have you seen my son say American football?
No.
No, what?
Oh my God, it's the funniest thing in the world.
American
yeah.
football. He actually like he
I'm
says
gonna
that.
bring
You gotta say it.
Take your time.
No, I
American
did
football?
the impersonation.
Take your time.
It's even cuter.
What?
It's like when I do Adeline when she says her colors. It's
Uh-huh.
like purple.
Purple.
It's cuter when I do it.
Purple.
Aw.
Yeah. No peas.
That's a new strain, Urple.
And then she's like, hello?
And purple. It purple.
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 Oh,
Purple.
what song was
Daddy.
that? What song was that? Shoot.
I gotta stay.
Air.
Radio
Rip.
edit.
3-6.
Words of wisdom from Kid Rock.
3-6.
We still got to get a soundboard so we can
Twisted
do
and
Mafia.
ICP.
Yeah.
Oh,
I need to get like the soundboard app at least to get started.
a soundboard app. No,
I've
no,
got
no,
a
we
couple
are
of
not
those,
the
but no.
radio.
that. I've been collecting like little MP3 sound effects.
Clips.
So like, if I really wanted to take the time, if some situation really called for it, I could go in and drop in a bruh or something like that. You can go
Dude.
back and listen to some of the episodes I've dropped the bruh.
My buddy in high school, he had an S10 Extreme that he traded a dirt bike for a flame paint job. He had a system in it, and he had one of those, basically what the equivalent of a soundboard was for a vehicle back in the day,
Yeah.
that made, I don't know, 500 different types of noises, barnyard animals, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, just
I always
stupid,
loved
crazy
the
ones,
horn
yeah.
that played La Cucaracha.
Yeah.
I always wanted one of those.
We rode downtown more than once. And
I hear that
it
every
made
day.
obscene noises.
Oh man, I always wanted one of those. Oh, dude, check this out. This dude that was on my crew at work, his name was Derek. He had this old square body Chevy,
Yeah.
big, lifted
Steel.
up, big, mean truck, right?
Carbureted.
Old school. And he put a damn train horn in that thing.
Oh.
And I remember one time we were getting off work and I pulled into the Mapco by the Children's Hospital to get something. And and as I was walking in the door, I hadn't even noticed he was parked right there by the door. And as I'm going in, he blasted that train horn right behind me.
Oh.
I shit about this much.
At least a half a cup.
Yeah. Scared the crap out of
Have
me.
a cup of shitsies.
So, James Conrad to MVP.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nice segue.
Long speculated.
I want to see what
MVP of.
Finally official.
I'm missing something here. They give an MVP out down for disc golf?
MVP.
I'm
disc,
unaware.
Have you ever heard of MVP, the disc
Disc
golf
company?
manufacturer, the leading edge?
MVP Disc Sports.
AOA. Audible
AOA.
order acknowledgement.
What?
Man, I just didn't
Audible
think,
order acknowledgement. When you said Conrad MVP Associate Champion in my head, I'm like, they give away an MVP trophy this year? Like, what is this?
Sports ball.
Not the
Yeah.
not the guys who put plastic stuff on the
No.
disc.
Yeah. So it was a long time coming on that announcement, and he staggered out his announcement that he was no longer going to be with Innova.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of speculation on other podcasts on the socials about where he was going, and a lot of the conversations kept returning to MVP. And lo and behold, he is with MVP. Thoughts? Anyone?
so
They
does
got gyro technology. What's up?
the price of my comrades have gone up, I guess.
They definitely will. Yeah.
Which was his? What was his signature, by the way?
His hair.
No, what disc? the Aviar.
Yeah, the AVR.
Yeah, James
AVR.
Conrad AVR.
But it was the hair growing around the AVR.
Well, he was throwing
Yeah.
those
Oh,
JK
okay.
Pro AVRs.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
the first AVR had like hair going like three-quarter way around it, and then like the next one all the way around.
Well,
Yeah.
when you win big tournaments, you get the full stamp.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be cool to see what
But it didn't keep
MVP
him in-
comes out with for
in the
Yeah,
for James.
Well, I just say well.
Here's
Is it tough?
Any
Like,
speculation
I
on
feel
why
like
that is?
last year or 2 years ago when Macbeth went to Discraft and now when Paige Pierce went to Discraft, like they were able to switch bags very quickly. When Wysocki went, I mean, these top players seem to be able to find those gaps in their bag and switch pretty quickly. And I don't think, Conrad, it wasn't like some have been with a manufacturer previously and come back to that manufacturer, so they still have some of those old discs. But I mean, Conrad, I don't think he has any ties to MVP previously, so he's.
homies. I mean,
Yeah, right.
Castro's been there for a
Right.
year, so
But I'm saying like he hasn't had the disc before or used it. Like, I mean, this is brand new
Well,
experience.
correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they just a couple of years ago come out with a driver? Like it's not been very
No, they've
long,
had-
right?
Well, I think there's a
Driver's
couple
man.
things at play here. One, you've got the expectations or desires from the pros raising because you're seeing what other players, and and it's just pros now as the sport is growing and evolving, they're taking more stock and measure of their worth and pushing for what they feel they need and deserve to continue touring at the level that they do. And when you pair that with the unexpected, just explosive growth of disc golf during the pandemic, now you're seeing the companies kind of reacting to both of those things in drastically different ways. And as you mentioned with Discraft, they came hard for Paul and they got Paul, and immediately disc sales went through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
So then they had the money to go after Page. And now they're continuing with that model, going after the biggest names and building their team on heavy hitters.
Yep.
So now you see a company like MVP kind of, it seems like they might be just trying to kind of gradually get into the rhythm of that same strategy.
Sure.
Where they're trying to invest in the heavy hitters so that they can build their roster. Then you look at Dynamic Discs, notably, you mentioned Page left, and a lot of the, Castro, a bunch of the pros left Dynamic Discs, and I might be a little bit more inside on the feeling of the whole arrangement, but I know that one, Dynamic Discs is trying to be as responsible as possible with taking full stock of the situation with supply and demand and how the business model has to evolve to keep up with that. And they're looking at, sponsorship of any kind as a partnership. You're investing in somebody because there's a return for you, and it's an equally beneficial arrangement. So Dynamic Discs, a lot of people have criticized their strategy because they cut a lot of their heavy hitters. They did not pony up for what the people were looking for, and other companies were able to come up with it. So a bunch of people left. But at the same time, Dynamic Discs doubled down on their ambassador team. I'm now in my second year with the team, and then you've got Ben Swam down in Birmingham, who he came on right at the same year that I did, and now he just opened up Dynamic Disc Iron City in Birmingham with Chris Pierce. Then you got Kevin Turner down in Chattanooga, who also joined the ambassador team. And they're making heavy investments in us as we're boots on the ground, running tournaments, promoting, stuff like that. So, and I think that that's also going to come full circle because once they're moved into their new distribution center and they've got a lot of the logistical stuff ironed out, you might see them really pushing hard to bring in some more top name touring pros. But I also am critical of the whole conversation because I feel like their roster is not as lacking as people seem to be making it out to be. I mean, you've got some big, good players that at any point could go on a tear and win a world championship. Clemens has been on fire the last 2 years. Oakley, everybody feels like it's just every year it's a countdown to when he's going to go off, and then so thoughts on any of that?
And Nico, I was just thinking like Nico. I mean, I know he's
Nico.
Side,
but that's part of the family.
I mean, he's won USDGC, and then multiple titles, and I feel like they're expanding, like, their tournament reach, like you were saying, and then they're probably trying to make up enough money because, like, Discraft had another market. They had the Ultimate, and so they had extra cash outside of disc golf.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Because I know they also do a lot with media.
You say extra cash? Are you talking about like boatloads?
Well, probably not boatloads, but
enough,
a flow of revenue.
Well, they're literally the official disc of Ultimate. So I mean it's they've taken a hit this past year.
But how big is the consumer market for Ultimate? You know what I mean?
I'm not aware.
Yeah, what's the industry like? I don't really know.
That's true. That's a good point.
I mean, they have.
But it was an independent revenue stream from something not disc golf.
Absolutely.
That they did have in their pocket. And when you look at this time with COVID and everything, Ultimate is shut down completely. They can't play at all. So
how did that event go with combining the two, Ultimate with disc golf? How did that go?
It was fun, man. It was a really cool format. It was, not very many played. I think we had less than 20 people, but people came up from Huntsville and Atlanta. Cool. Shout out to Sean Sinclair. Me and him ran the Ultimate Disc Golf Derby.
How were the scores?
I can probably pull them up.
Oh, I mean, you have to get that technical. I was just curious, like, if anybody even shot close to par, if it was, like, really, really bad for most parts, or if putting would be the issue, I would think, and just not getting the catches you would need. However, you say that.
On those baskets, especially with an Ultimate disc.
If you think about the standards that were initially set up, they were to catch that big of a disc.
Yeah.
And that's not changed. Now, the basket's gotten a little taller and deeper.
Yeah.
Chains a little stiffer and a lot more
I feel like remember we were having all those conversations about going with the thinner basket or the skinnier basket? The width?
Anytime, you talk about disc golf, that for any extent, it can kind of come up.
But I feel like we have not heard. I feel like that conversation did not come up last year. I mean, sometimes, but not as much. Like, you remember they had that panel at Maple Hill. Yeah,
all right.
I'm saying, like,
hey, look at those baskets, bro. I got COVID. What's up?
Are people still? Cause I know, like, Nashboro, they have those baskets on all 18. The thin basket.
They just have T1s. No,
they have the skinnier
they have the little target baskets.
Yeah, the Prodigy the minier. Is that a word?
Minier, right. Sure. If you want to be.
I don't know what they call it. Like, they're not.
Like
I guess they're smaller. Right? Their width is half the width. Yeah.
This just in, as requested, details on the Ultimate Disc Golf Derby event that Sean Sinclair and I ran at Cane Ridge. Right. In the advanced division, first place, Taylor Goforth, shooting a...
Goforth and Prospect.
I was going to say, what a last name. That's
shooting 4 down, 54.
If you don't make something of yourself...
Okay, seeing Justin Bonnell shoot a +1 at Baby Cane and Sean Sinclair shooting a 1 down at Baby Cane.
But how about Brandon Carmine shooting 2 ahead of Justin Bonnell with a lid?
Hey, man, some people can
golf
throw
snaps to Brandon Carmine.
Yeah.
And Sean Sinclair taking second. He shot 1 down as well.
Dude, he's a freestyler from back in the day.
Yeah.
And Ryan Tracy played also, and he shot 17 over. But I will tell you this, man. No kidding. And I don't know what the background in Ultimate looks like for Brandon Carmine. I know Justin Bonnell is very familiar. But you could tell the people that were versed in Ultimate.
Did Blake Waldron show up?
No. Only had 10 players. But, you know, you see these guys that came up from, like, Atlanta and Huntsville that were, like, I mean, not strictly. I don't want to say they'd never played disc golf, but they were mainly Ultimate. That was their drug of choice in the disc sport world. those guys, man, and I was just there, man, in the tent and watching what they were doing on like hole one.
Yeah.
Those guys do some crazy stuff with a frisbee, man, and they could tear up a disc golf course with a lid for sure.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of people who can.
Yeah.
If you can throw a lid 250, 300, some courses around, you'll be doing just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the truth. What's crazy though is maybe it didn't take off so much here, 10 players, but it's probably one of those things that was bigger regionally or bigger in different areas than it. You know what I mean? You don't see.
Well, yeah. If you have a professional ultimate team in your town, I'm guessing it was probably.
Well, if you have ultimate, or if you live on a coast, you probably see a frisbee a lot more often than us here in Nashville or people like maybe in Idaho or Wisconsin or something.
So
plus, it's a lot of wind out there.
Wisconsin.
I was just thinking Idaho.
I was thinking cheese curds, potatoes.
Potatoes.
to wrap up the Conrad discussion, obviously he's been a contender for a long time, and he's a USDGC winner as well, is he not?
He is.
His,
champion.
and
The forehand friendly, the left hand friendly course. He tackled it.
so now the question is, what does his season look like with a new bag? Do we see him winning a DGPT or a major or an NT, or what are we speculating on that?
I'm saying no, because I think MVP is just they are different than a little bit, in my opinion, from what I've thrown, and that's very, very little. I feel like they are different than regular discs, so like that's a bigger change than most. I feel like
it all depends on how long he's been playing with those discs, really, because like you gotta trust your new plastic, because like you go with those AVRs he's had forever, and he's gonna want to have something like very similar to that, because he's like a very like mid-range, low-speed driver kind of guy, because he has like such long arms and such a long run-up. So seeing him going to another company, obviously he's gonna win maybe like 3 or 4 tournaments, but overall it's just gonna be a learning curve of like getting to know your plastic in the wind, in conditions, and performing with that plastic on the same stages.
Sure,
it's just like
I feel
the
like
odds are against you.
But he's played so well at certain like
venues.
The Smuggler's Notch. I think he had a course record there last year, and so it wouldn't surprise me if he figured out something because that's a little bit later in the season, Disc Golf Pro Tour event.
Yeah,
that's.
I
feel like somebody
it's suited
always
for him though. He's a Virginia guy, right? Virginia or Carolina, somewhere around there. That's Woods call.
Mm-hmm.
And we think we got a bad in Tennessee.
Oh yeah, I know that. Also, there's they had to change one of the Disc Golf Pro Tour events to San Francisco Open. It's in a different place in California now, like some newer course. So that could be a wild card that I don't know.
What were they playing it at? Golden Gate or something?
I forgot the name.
I think that was Golden Gate Park was in there, wasn't it?
I don't know if it was right in San Francisco or right outside of San Francisco, but it was some place where they were throwing like 800-foot shots. I mean, it was like a huge downhill hole, and they had the Central Coast, the little rangefinder, and they were like, if you check out,
that's not a Central Coast, that's Bushnell. That's high quality optics, friend.
Well, no, this was before all the Bushnell started breaking out. They had they probably had a Bushnell rangefinder, but it was one of the camera, the extra guys doing the speed gun, doing that.
The no-name guy.
Yeah. Get the speed gun and but they were ripping like 700 foot. Like there were some holes, downhill hole. San Francisco Open. Check out the coverage. But
all right. Yeah, I would definitely
monster mashes.
Yeah. I like downhill holes.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, it was a tough course because there was also the same uphill holes. It was like 280 straight uphill, and like they were mashing 400 just to get to that. So.
Oh yeah, I believe it. Some of those inclines, baby.
So one of the things on your list, Dr. Hoy, was the 2021 preseason awards. Was that like a speculative game for us to play, or was there something released that I didn't see?
Maybe.
Okay. So one of the things for that, we were looking at
Dick Vitale.
So we're looking
awesome, baby.
Wait. You're talking about, what did you say? Repeat it.
We're speculating who's going to like win awards for this year.
Oh,
yeah.
Professionally.
Yeah, so like most cash made.
Yeah.
MPO and FPO. Who's got what?
Event wise or just overall salary?
Overall season winnings.
Yeah, like
season winnings,
not like
Paul McBeth.
I mean, so I'm saying like tournament cash earnings.
MPO and FPO. Paul McBeth and
I gotta say Calvin Heimberg on the MPO front.
Ooh.
I feel like he started off strong, but he faltered toward the end of the year. I feel like Kevin Jones has got a good run.
Yeah, Kevin Jones
KJ?
Crazy. Like
I think
whoever wins the Disc Golf Pro Tour
is going to step up this year because of what happened on the coverage.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna be like, man, I'm never gonna let that happen again.
Got a fire underneath her. Maybe. And she always has like she'll have like 2-3 real strong years, and she'll kind of be 1 or 2. Paige will come back, and then she'll come back again.
It was more devastating the second time I watched it.
I feel like she made a post that she said, and I know she doesn't care about like what other people like, what the outside noise is, but I feel like she's really dedicated to that, and it seems like she's pretty focused. So I think she's gonna have a big year.
Katrina is probably one of the most focused.
Yeah.
I think that and this is coming from just an athlete's perspective. Anybody who's played any sport, when you take anything to a level where you are focused on it and pretty much solely on that, and Katrina I feel like she has that mindset. It leads you to what disc golfers are really starting to really pick up on is like the mental game and your mental thought and your mental aspect. I mean, how many times have you gone an entire season and you played great and rarely thought like about your shots or rarely thought about things, but then all of a sudden you take 3-4 months off for some reason, like you play just a little bit, really cold winter here or something like that. That'll do it for me. And you walk back out there and you may find your groove somewhere along the way, but you're not the same golfer as you were a year ago because you haven't been putting in that time or whatever it may be. Well, like if you're used to doing a certain or competing at a certain level and then all of a sudden not, that really plays massive things in your head with your mental game. And you start second guessing things. And I mean, there's a lot of pros if you look back through, like the 90s, early 2000s who were at the top of the game and then kind of falling off. Mm-hmm. And Katrina, like I was saying, she gets, every couple of years she comes back super fired, determined, and comes back and rocks the season, and Paige back at it after. It's like little lulls. But when you're at that level, I think that's what happens is like you get so good and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I can't do anything. And then you can't help but start second guessing or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes any sense mentally. And
it's worth noting, too, that, if we're talking about most cash made, it's important to specify that we're not talking about overall earnings. We're talking about winnings for the season, tournament winnings. Which, because, if you don't specify that, then clearly it's Paul and Paige. Yeah. You know what I mean? But, if not, then, there's some Heimbergs in the mix. There's some Katrinas in the mix. There's some Haley. Obviously she just won $20,000.
$20,000.
That definitely does.
I just want her to smile a little more.
She got a great smile.
Hailstorm.
Haley's got a great smile. She just looks super serious when she's playing.
She won. She was like, 18, all right, 19? So I won.
Yeah. I'm 18.
No, she celebrated. But when she's playing, when she's putting, her game face is legit. She's no joke.
You can see it when she's not on point. And that's how you know how serious she's taking it.
And at Smuggler's Notch, Haley King, she was right up there. So I wonder if that, now that she won the DGPT for FPO, she might be like, oh, I'm here. I can compete. Now, I know that's easy to get that in your mindset, and then you have to go out and do it. But, I feel like the mental knowing that you beat in that kind of competition.
Like she's arrived.
It's like you have the skill set to.
Assuming that it happens and assuming that the Europeans are able to travel.
It was kind of
world champions this year. What do you guys think?
Ooh, Kristen Tartar is making a run now. You're talking about that.
Yeah.
And
Evelina's got a good chance.
Evelina was right there last year. It was 2 years ago. Evelina, Katrina, and then Paige just kind of jumped out, because they have so many rounds. There was one round that Paige popped off, and that was. I think because the World's scheduled to be in Utah, and the Utah Open course is one of them. But then there's also kind of a newer course that's a shorter, more woodsy course.
Yeah,
for the Worlds.
Yeah, there's two, but the second course hasn't been used that much in tournament. So I don't know. It's kind of like an unknown. I feel like sometimes the Worlds is somewhere where A tiers and DGPTs have always been, and under the Utah Open, that's been a disc golf pro tour and a solid tournament, so people know that course. But the other course, that's one where it's an unknown commodity, and the Worlds. It's a long tournament, and there's, the woods golf you can really.
You think that there may be a overseas world champion this year?
It's always a possibility, man.
And you're talking about the females. I think there could be in the men's. I think we don't truly know what's going on over in Europe, and we only see little bits when either we travel over there or there's somebody who really really breaks out, comes over here. But I'm betting there's some guys from Scandinavia or Europe or Bostonia, or some of these. Estonia.
Wait,
Bostonia.
Wait.
Yeah, Bostonia.
Hey, go park the car.
You want a Bostonian lager?
Exactly. Estonia. My apologies.
Bostonian cream pie.
But I think there's a lot of talent that's like just they're lurking on the edges.
All right now.
And when they're
reel it back in.
I can't.
when they're competing, they're doing their tour or whatever. They're top of their field, and when they come over to America, it's harder for them to make that presence because it's we don't have to go and break into the European market as professionals would have to.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, Seppo Paiu.
Seppo Paiu.
I was rewatching the 2018 Worlds, and the chase card the final day was like Seppo, Matteo.
What tournament was that?
The 2018 Worlds. Yeah, Smuggler's Notch.
Well, yeah, everybody comes to Worlds, but how many Europeans come over here and tour? Like Simon did.
Yeah, Simon. I mean, he lives over here now.
Sure, but like how
Speaking
many
of Bostonians,
really get over here and tour? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think there's those touring pros over there that could definitely light us up for a world championship.
Yeah, for sure.
So who are you predicting for this year, based on all that?
We're just gonna say Paul.
No. There's Wysocki coming off of 1 year full with Lime, another year with Innova. I feel like Wysocki could be on one of those runs again. Now that he's getting up there, and
he's in the mix.
when he's mentally right and when he's on his game, he competes with Paul just fine.
Can't forget about Dickerson, dude. He's got a world championship coming to him.
They're the guys who they take the wins out, and it just leaves that bitter taste in Paul.
Because that one
Ricky's
course
mouth.
in the Utah Open that's been played, I forgot the name of the course, but there's a lot of forehand power shots and there's a lot of distance, and so I think the wooded, obviously that's a big thing too, but if you can, if you got a good forehand power drive, I'm just wondering like a Chris Clemens. He seemed pretty close, and then also
yeah, and also think about it like this too, and this kind of ties back into something we talked about before the break, but look at Dynamic Disc. You got two guys coming off of serious injuries that are looking positive, positive prognosis. Zach Melton, AJ Risley.
Yeah.
Those are two ballers.
Right.
And Zach just got his knee fixed, and AJ's wrist is getting fixed, and he's looking really good. I've been seeing some videos of him working his throw out, and he's looking really good.
Both of them. Well, Eric's rededicated himself too. Yeah. Again, I saw that.
Mm-hmm. So good things coming. It's going to be exciting. You got to kind of plain and simple say at the end of the day, you go with the odds, it's Paul and Page.
Well, sure, if you're a betting man. But it's exciting because you're seeing the development of professional athletes at the disc golf level. Like all these guys now, they are putting in the time. It's not just one or two people who are going to dominate. That's what's the best part is we're discussing it. As before, where were we at 5 years ago? Oh, Ricky or Paul.
Yeah.
Page.
Oh, and I want another thing to think of too, because in that list of things that you had mentioned, you got a Rookie of the Year potentially. Well, look at you got a heater in Christina Ricciardi, Team Dynamic Discs, and she just posted not too long ago that she's dedicating herself to touring full time in 2021.
Yeah.
And she's a baller, dude. Like she could do some stuff too. You might see a repeat of a Paige Bjerkes / Shoe.
Yeah.
Sure.
Coming out of left field and winning awards. So
that was the crazy thing
game.
about that 2018 Worlds and Smuggler's Notch. It was Greg Barsby and Paige Shoe.
Right.
There's something too that not always having to throw far.
Yeah. No.
And there's courses that when
and having every shot in the bag, you got to have a solid forehand.
Absolutely.
Most commonly.
Well, the World you're saying has got a smaller technical woods course, and they've got the big gunner out there in Utah. I don't know what the Disc Golf Pro Tour is doing. As far as that goes, USDGC is always a mix. Look at the National Tour finale.
There's some separation already starting here because you talk about those courses. The one course in Utah on the FPO side, that's putting Paige and Katrina ahead of the pack with that kind of distance.
Yeah. But look at the MCO this year.
MPO side, now you're looking at some other guys that might be in the mix and giving a little bit more of an edge on Paul. You're talking the Calvins, the Simons, the Rickies that can bomb.
Eagle. We haven't even said Eagle's name.
But then you still incorporate all the guys who are taking in that woods course.
And Eagle's another one that's probably on his way to being due for a Worlds. Coming up soon.
To me, there's a reason why Conrad has won USDGC. There's a reason why Will Schustrick's won USDG3 3 times. because when you play a certain style of golf and you're not required to just throw hard, like you'll never hear me argue with that with woods and a mix like we're doing for the MCO. And again, all the big tournaments are doing the mix, and I think it's kind of a trend that way.
Yeah,
in a sense.
Here's a question: could Nashville host a Pro Worlds?
We're gonna need more parking.
Some kind of worlds, some kind of
parking.
major is coming. I'm going to start working on putting in a bid once we get a few things finalized and we see how the NT finale goes.
Yeah.
But
if Mill Ridge comes through and we can do it permanently, I think there's no reason to think that we couldn't do Worlds for sure, even with the massive growth.
Another new thing for 2021,
include Dixon.
It's too far to drive. It's outside. But
I mean the course would be great, but it's one of those courses that's
parking,
a bomber.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, parking, but it's a bomber, but it's like one of those that doesn't give you enough mistakes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Another new thing for 2021, the new rule, 2 forms of scoring. So the official scorecard will be digital, and there also must be a paper backup. So for all you guys
or UDIS backup.
Or UDIS backup. Yeah, separate UDIS backup. So to really blow your minds, everybody that's been struggling to get their heads around this new technology thing, yeah, you're going to have to do both. Two scorecards. And
that's to basically make sure nobody is changing or writing the wrong score down, because Maple Hill last year, one of the volunteers for UDisc typed in the wrong score for double G, and he got a penalty. And you think, the volunteer that's walking around with scoring, he got a birdie and they wrote in a par, and I guess he forgot, it was like hole 2 or whatever. And so they're trying to do that, but also to cut down on people if they're saying somebody's telling you a score and they're typing in the wrong score, writing in a different score. So if there's live scoring, that's going to be the official scorecard, the live digital scorecard. But there must be a backup.
Well, just in the instance of like when you're texting, fat thumbs. If you just accidentally double click it or something, and now you got a backup at least saying, "Oh, hey."
For sure.
Because that happens all the time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
What do you guys know about this new major coming up for 2022 at the IDGC WR Jackson? A new format, a bunch of commentary about this going on social media.
You guys are going to have to fill me out, but out of the loop.
Well, there was a new major announced 2022, and it's basically
the Champions Cup.
The Champions Cup, and it's a major.
Okay.
So another chance to win a major title.
Okay.
And they're kind of saying how golf has the Masters where it's always at the same place, and the other majors kind of rotate around. Like Worlds.
Well, USDGC is a major, correct?
Is it?
I'm pretty sure it's a major.
It's like Elite
USDGC, yes, is a major.
Yeah,
it's been there.
All the World Championships.
Right. Changes all the time, but it's the same place.
Yeah.
Right. So it's because I was just thinking of you don't get a rating. Like they have ratings for USDGC, but it's not an official rating because they test out.
What? They don't do that anymore. Not since Performance Flight went away. You talking about?
No, I don't think the ratings.
No,
for
there's
USDGC
not official
count.
ratings. They don't count toward player ratings.
They have what the ratings would be, but they don't count in there.
They don't go towards your player
no
rating.
fooling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the format change?
The format, I think, there's 6 rounds, and it's 4 or 5 rounds, and then they take the top 4 MPO and the top 4 FPO, and they're going to do match play. Somehow they're introducing a match play because they wanted it to be what's unique about this tournament, and they couldn't. They were thinking of could they do all match play of rank the top 64 people from such and such throughout the year, and they were getting a lot of pushback. Well, is this really going to find the top 4? Look what Disc Golf Pro Tour, and they have the top 4. It's we got to be the top 4 that weekend.
But does Disc Golf Pro Tour provide the true top 4?
No, they were looking at doing some kind of ranking of points throughout the year. What are the top 64 people, and then they could do all match play.
I'm curious as to where all the different formats are coming from. Just trying to change.
Well, no, they're trying to make it unique, but you get the top rankings from the people that play those first 5 rounds, and then the top 4 out of those rounds. So it's not and then they do some kind of match play. But the TD of the event was actually on Facebook and wrote this page-long post about people already why do we need another major? It's going to cheapen the other majors, and it's
what do they worry? They're not paying for it.
I guess
but at the same time, there's been all kinds of commentary over the last 5 years talking about we need another major.
Sure.
Right, like
we should.
Nate Heinold, he's on the majors committee for the PDGA, and he's been working on this. I don't think it's like just happening. He's been working on it, and the board voted to approve it. So it's obviously,
Just a different formatted style, I guess.
Well, I think you play stroke play for like 4 or 5 rounds, and then it's a match play at the end.
Yeah,
but I think they're trying to do it to make it a little bit unique. Besides just doing like 6 rounds of Worlds, but I think it's at the same. It's going to be only WR Jackson.
So let me play devil's advocate. I think it sounds like if you're taking that many rounds and you're taking the top 4 scores and then you're making them play match play. So are you just eliminating those top 4 scores and making it even again? So it's going to be like that. Yeah, that would every time.
The build up would get you into the final, and then it would be match play. So you couldn't have like match play. It's just heads up.
So I get that, but then at the same time, it's like, what if you're the number 1 person after 5 rounds by 20 strokes? Like that's, and then you end up.
That's all you like. That's what I'm saying. You only get to a number 1 seed. Like it goes to your seeding. So is that fair? Like to take away all you've worked. If you work to build a 20-stroke lead, and then all you get's the first, and you have to play the 4th ranked person, who could be a really good. I mean, they're all going to be really good players, and you could get knocked out.
I like the idea. I mean, it's kind of like basketball where you get Cinderellas,
Right. Yeah, you could have more of an upset or something like. I mean, that's like look at the Disc Golf Pro Tour, the final. Like
I kind of feel like
the Disc Golf Pro Tour finals, I've never understood it 100%, but it's just weird how they.
I kind of think the more alternate format events, the better. The more majors, the better.
I'm with you there.
Yeah, more majors the better. Alternate
like,
if you don't like the idea, don't play.
Do you think it would cheapen the other majors? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
How?
I think you have to understand
because then there's more majors.
Would it not just level the playing field?
Yeah.
For one event, if that's the case.
You go into it knowing what the format is.
Exactly.
And I think it's almost kind of like the separation between, when you have an NT and there's an A tier attached. A lot of players don't really understand the separation that in a lot of, for function, it's pretty much 2 separate events.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's kind of the same thing. This is a standalone major with an alternate format. I think it's a great idea, and I think it's a great time to bring more attention to alternate format type stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, he's talking about, does it cheapen the other events? That's what I'm curious. Like, why?
I don't see how. That's like saying gay marriage is an affront on traditional marriage.
But how so? Like money wise, or
no, saying number of titles.
Gonna get us canceled
because
number of titles.
Because like when Tiger Woods, he's chasing the major record of Jack Nicklaus, 18 majors, and Tiger has what, 15 now or 16?
How many majors are there in disc golf total?
5 right now.
USDGC and World Championships are the ones that they talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
Masters and the PGA Tour champion.
Huh?
I mean, that's what they talk about. This is those 2 events. So I mean, sure, people win majors, but it's those 2 events that.
Right,
but as the sport grows, I think there's going to be more limelight shined on those as well as we continue to grow. I think this is the time to add stuff if we're going to add stuff.
They always have the record books, and they're like, oh well, what if Macbeth wins 20 majors, but there was. In his career, there was 40 majors to win, whereas Climo, there's only 25 to win. Like that's what they'll say. Like, oh, there are more majors to win, so yeah, of course he beat the record. And I mean, it just brings up discussion. I don't think, but I think more majors are better.
No, more majors are better. I don't think it cheapens it by saying there's more titles, because I think the main titles as a major that you want to win are. The 2 you hear about.
Okay, what about this? There's somebody who only won 2 major. They won 2 majors of the Champions Cup, but they never won any majors, and they never even placed in the top 10 in any other majors.
Okay.
And then are people going to say, well? And then they're like, this 2-time major winner, and they're like, oh wait, but it's like, is it going to have an asterisk? And I don't think that's the case, but I think some people could make the argument.
You're an Academy Award winner.
Huh?
Basically, it's like not a Grammy, I guess. I could be off. I don't know what the awards.
2 different things. Grammys are.
Well, which one's the lower significant? There's like another.
Probably the Grammys, but one's music and one's movies.
Yeah.
No.
But then there's
music.
the EGOT.
There's like scales of awards
Grammy,
you can
Oscar,
win.
Tony.
Grammys being like one of the top.
For music, Grammy's like the top.
Yeah. So
I mean, you can win an Academy Award as a musician, but it's like for soundtrack type stuff. You know what I mean? As a musician, you want a Grammy.
Hey, 3-6 Mafia has an Oscar.
True.
It's hard out here.
Eminem does too. Yeah.
It's hard out there.
It's hard out there for a pimp.
Yeah, first ones ever.
So
on
let's
the
wrap it up
way.
with
Yeah.
something fun, you guys.
Hard out
It's
there
been
for a
fun.
pimp.
I was just curious to where he was going with
Oh,
that.
yeah,
I wasn't trying. I agree with that. As far
No,
as what you're saying.
it's up for
I
discussion.
didn't want anybody to think
Will
I was
never
being
end today.
negative, Nancy. You've
Hard
been.
out there
Marcus
for a
is
pimp.
tired. He's going to bed.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I'm gonna try and get him in this last topic,
I'm
Gosh.
gonna wrap him up like a
and we're
burrito.
gonna get out of here. But
Super
so
early morning.
pet peeves in disc golf.
Pet peeves in disc golf.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, Marcus, you're coming up on your first TD experience, so it doesn't have to be like a TD pet peeve.
gotta ask
Ours
him
will
after the
probably be
tournament.
I feel it's an
pet
asterisk.
peeves, for, TD pet peeves,
Yeah.
but you can have a pet peeve about like playing like behavior of somebody on a card or.
Let's say pet peeves of
I
playing.
already
playing a
know what it
tournament
is.
round.
I'm just
I know
waiting.
mine is.
Yeah. Huh?
Well, let's go around the table. We'll start with Jay.
Music.
Playing
On
music?
the card.
Not a music guy.
No, because it's golf, and like I get it, even if it's casual, and it doesn't necessarily bother me if you're in a group that's walking by or has got some. But like if you're in my group, it's like, I was like, I just want to play golf and talk, and if we're gonna enjoy ourselves, I don't want to listen to your music or somebody else's music. And I know you've had experiences with other people's taste of music,
Oh yeah.
and so you know how that can go. But
Yeah, for sure.
music to me, it should be left off the disc golf course.
Hot take.
It's funny because now you're gonna think like I stole your answer.
Or headphones.
I was thinking earbuds.
Yeah.
Like,
Make it hard to
what's the
communicate.
deal? What's the deal with earbuds? I mean, you're trying to play disc golf and you're
Talked about Jerry Seinfeld earlier.
Yeah.
What is the deal with earbuds?
Yeah, but people wearing earbuds, then you have to take them out, and then they're like.
Oh,
I don't know. You can have them in. And I know you can pay
Oh, that sounds
attention
great.
with earbuds in, but number one, has anyone won wearing earbuds a significant tournament the whole time? Wearing
Barry
earbuds?
Schultz never takes them off.
Kevin Jones.
Yeah, but he.
But
doesn't listen
did he
to
wear
me-
them when that tournament?
But
Mm.
and Barry
in the disc
doesn't
golf
listen
pro
to me.
tour final? Because I know Jordan Castro went Lobot in the Beaver State Fling one year. He had the big headphones on that were wireless like 2 years ago.
My
Yeah,
question
yeah.
Please
is,
go
how
back.
does the earbud stay in when
Castro
you
not.
rotate that fast? Because my
He's-
sunglasses fly off sometimes.
That's how you know it's a good shot.
These
with Jay.
these right here, these titanium by Aftershocks.
Yeah.
But-
They wrap around your head. They're over the ear and bone conduction, so nothing goes in your ear, and you can play and pause with a little button on the outside.
I know
so
it's legal, and I know like you may not hear it, but I just people with the earbuds when I'm walking to the card. Oh, you're on this card. You're on this card. And I'm like, oh, we got an earbud guy.
So it doesn't bother me, but to your point,
I don't know why
I
that.
caddied at GBO for Kelly Tucker, and I was on a certain higher end pro. I won't name any names, but a girl on another card had her earbuds in, and she wasn't paying attention. You would have been able to hear us walking by, but she stepped out from behind a tree twice on them teeing off because not hearing that they were over
Right,
there.
it's just,
So there is some to that.
yeah, true.
and I know they have the mode where you can like hear stuff around you, like, but
But
I
then
see somebody walking to the tee pad. You're on this card, huh? And they take your AirPod. I'm like, yeah, okay, just put that back in.
just one ear it, man.
Don't worry, I'm not that good, buddy.
The
I won't
people
beat
who
you.
will
But you'll
rock
beat
the
me with your
earbuds
earbuds.
responsibly
That's
are the ones who put them in when they throw, and then take at least one out when they're just walking or doing the average. What you do most of the time playing disc golf.
Have you ever been playing with somebody and that like it's not going well and they keep turning their music up and up and then like everybody's sitting there being quiet and like you can hear like
I've not
hardcore
experienced
like
that,
some kind of
but
loud.
that's better than what I have seen sometimes when people's rounds go bad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's I don't know. To me, it seems like
It's your pet
I
peeve.
guess I'm like the old man. Get off my lawn.
I know Steve Kearns'
Earbuds,
pet peeve.
kids.
Banging on the roof with the
Yeah.
broom.
Marcus.
Marcus, yeah, hit us with your pet peeve, bro.
All right. Mine
This is
is
like tip
going
of the
to
week.
the
All in one.
Yeah, I know, right? All in one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
Oh,
it's
it's all
it
in
could
one.
be. Hey. And the tip. Hey, don't go to the
and the
pineapple.
Oh,
Tuja.
pineapple is a tire shirt.
Watch
Trumped
out.
it. He
Too much
trumped
fun.
it, bro.
Pineapple shirt is
Shenanigans.
way too relaxing. Going to the tee pad without a disc. Oh,
Just the
yeah.
T-pad, or like if
Yeah,
you're in the
you're
woods
up.
even?
You're up. It's your throw, and you go up there without a disc, and you're like,
You're looking at the hole.
excessive.
Yeah.
That guy is like,
And then you shank the shot.
And then the disc in your hand, and then you do that again 5 more times, almost full speed. Like every time you think the guy's about to throw, and then he doesn't. You're like, oh.
Reminds me of the movie Major League. The pitcher, he's like, he sits, and he sits again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
Just keep it moving.
So please just take 2 discs up there with you. You know, drop one to the side.
Yeah.
Decide your shot. You know, you automatically. I mean,
It's getting dark.
You pretty much know exactly what disc you're gonna throw before you get up there anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe one of 2.
You're up there.
Maybe in a weird hole 3.
It's like
have them in your hand.
You're fanning a ghost or something. You're like,
Yeah.
get off me.
Spiderweb.
Yep.
Or if you're gonna throw.
Or if you set your bag down and then you bring a couple discs with you, and it's like 5 discs you bring with you. It's like you could have just brought your bag with you, like, and then you got to walk back.
I got a cart, bro. I can't bring that with me. Just staying out
Yeah,
here.
exactly. Hey, where's my caddy?
Because I bring a couple of discs sometimes, like different. Like if I'm going in the woods or in the brush or something, I'm like, crap. I'll bring maybe 3 discs if you don't have an out. You get the third one or something.
But I like, Tifa, that just kind of goes to get your mind in the game. Get ready.
That goes to people paying attention and following the rules.
Take out your ear pods. Get a disc in your hand. Walk up to the T-pad and turn off your music and confidently throw your shot.
I cannot throw without.
It's embarrassing.
2 non-blondes. So I can't do it. Just can't do it.
All right.
I said, hey.
What's
going
on? What is your pet peeve?
Bill McCraskill.
My pet peeve, definitely people posting on Facebook before they ask a TD a question in regards to running events.
How about playing?
And the VIP version of that pet peeve is when it's somebody that's not even at the event.
I like it.
Somebody knows who they are.
Or can you add X Division? And they say that on every post.
That's another.
And they never sign up.
They never sign up. That's a close second. Is like,
can you add MA 110? Oh, I'm not going to sign up. I just I want to make sure.
Close second place is people that both make special requests, weird random requests, and also pester you for when tee times are going to be up. Because the reason tee times aren't up is because people like you keep making these boneheaded requests when we're trying to set the freaking tee times. Figure it out, bud.
I know that the tournament starts on Thursday, but I'm going to work Thursday. So if I could get a later tee time, that would be great.
I've got an interview in the middle of the day, and I just need to know what my MCO tee time is. And I'm like, I wanted to say, okay, do you need the job? Or do you need to play a disc golf tournament?
Yeah, for sure.
Or can you reschedule that interview?
Or people that say
Be sure and mention disc golf in your interview.
People that say cash CTP 15 times every 15 minutes.
Cash CTP.
Sorry, this is a random sidetrack thought.
Yeah.
For playing disc golf, my pet peeve would probably be, man, there's so many good ones that are all pretty classic, like litter on the course, people talking while you're throwing, people walking in front of you while you're trying to putt or walking within your field of vision.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. I think honestly, you could sum it all up with one thing by saying that my biggest pet peeve when it comes to playing with people is not being considerate of others. Like if you are clear, like if your behavior is just displaying to the world that you are clearly only thinking about yourself and no one else, you know what I mean? And that can include all of that stuff. You're throwing litter on the ground, you're talking during somebody's backswing, all that stuff. And that's pretty much a pet peeve in life. I try real hard to put myself in other people's shoes when I think about making decisions and stuff like that affect other people. And that's not very common. It's about as common as common sense.
When you raised right up in the 80s like we was.
HT, home training.
70s, 80s, whenever, I don't know.
Golden rule, 90s. Kids.
You got that old school in you still. The father used the back of the hand sometimes, and you were taken out back and, learned your lessons. Nowadays, you don't always have that. I'm not even joking. We played Saunders Ferry this weekend. That's the most people I've seen.
Sanders Ferry.
Sanders Ferry, whatever. The most people I've seen out there in forever.
30 people at least. On
way more, like probably 6 groups in front of us, and I literally picked up so much trash. And I was like, I know you guys walked right over the top of this.
Yeah.
And so the trash one gets me all the time.
So my pet peeve and the tip, we'll sum it up with 2 things. 1, be considerate of others. 2, brain fart.
Trash. Don't throw your trash.
No.
Sanders
I'll come back to it.
Walk over.
Sanders.
Be considerate of
Asking
others.
questions.
Oh, before you go to social media and act like you have accurate information, make a reasonable attempt to acquire accurate information.
Hey, you know why they call it fake news? And
Know your
you
place.
can't put it on Facebook, you get banned? Because shit like that.
Yep.
You mean the people that say,
And that's what really grinds my gears.
I know this has already been answered,
Grinding
but I'm
over
going to
here.
go ahead and ask it again because I can't look through the list of answers, the FAQs.
Oh, I've got a better one for that off air.
Huh?
Dang.
Well, all right, guys.
Anyway, no.
I got to get to that off
They
air.
won't listen anyway.
But yeah, that was a fun episode 25. Does anybody else have any final thoughts?
No,
2-5. We like.
I feel like
grown-ass
the season
podcast.
it's been bubbling up, and it's here.
It's bubbling up, bro.
Enjoy the season.
You better
Enjoy the
get rid of
courses.
that.
Carpe
early morning
diem.
poop.
Shout out to the
bubbling.
Millers.
Remember to be remembered, not be rich. But if you be remembered for being rich, let it happen.
And always yell for.
This is disc golf. You always holler out.
Can I scream
I
for
don't
her?
care.
I prefer that you do.
Screaming
Yikes.
goat. Insert screaming goat. every YouTube
or
video
Honda
could
Fit
use more
horn.
Is
screaming
that gonna
goats.
be
Or that
Honda Fit
scary
on?
monster that you like watching some kind of little 30-second clip, and then a monster jumps. They cut to like
Hit us with a
So-
beat.
yeah.
All right.
You
Well,
know
like-
Fail Army on Facebook and YouTube and all that stuff?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have there's a TV channel, TBD. They have like marathons of Fail Army clips. It's freaking awesome.
We gonna
The
roll
problem with
out.
Fail
There's
Army
nothing
clips
funnier
is
than
like,
screaming goat.
I start
Yeah.
anticipating somebody not failing. And I'm like,
It's
oh,
time.
he'll get it.
to roll out.
Yeah, we were dragging it out.
Gotta beat. Gotta beat.
Voice of reason. Ever the voice of
Dr.
reason,
Hoy.
Dr. Hoy telling us when it's time to
Here
wrap it up.
we go.
Love you guys. Love you guys. Catch you on the flip. Stay tuned. Big things popping.
Deuces.
And we'll catch you.
There's some bros in this studio.
There's some bros in this lounge.
Let the bass kick.